Hey folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
Yo, it's Tud.
And I'm Obert.
And, guys, I love you to death, but I'm kind of happy to be staring at a computer screen right now and not into your eyeballs.
Yeah? You didn't enjoy the in-person podcasting?
I mean, I did, but it was really weird for me. I don't know why.
I gotta admit, yeah, it is a little bit easier with the detachment of computer monitors between our faces.
Yes, I agree. I think that, even if we lived in the same state anytime in the future, we should just stay in separate rooms and still record the podcast. Kind of like when I was in Tennessee, and Chris and I had to be in separate rooms when we recorded the podcast.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
But then it's drinking alone with friends still. It's not drinking together.
Yeah, and we wanted to keep we wanted to keep up the integrity of the podcast by drinking alone.
Yeah, I sat on an air mattress for an hour and recorded a podcast.
Yeah, and even when I was in Connecticut, in your house, we were on opposite sides of the world. So
yeah, you were in the basement and I was up in my bedroom, I think.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, we did a bachelor party.
We did a bachelor party.
It was a
fun
party.
time. It was a great time. I had fun.
Yeah, I wish that you guys lived closer after spending 3 days with you guys or 4 days with you guys. And now you guys are back to living across the country, and I don't like it. We all used to live here at one point.
That's true. Yeah. So I agree with you that it would be nice if we all lived in the same state. But did you have fun on your bachelor party?
I did. I had a blast.
Okay. Yeah.
I had a great time. I think I appreciate everybody, all 9 of the guys who came out. Especially special shout out to the 2 best men for putting it on. So yeah, it was great. Tried a lot of good beer. Got way too drunk a few different times, and fun was had by all. I think everybody was safe and sound. Nobody died. That's a bonus.
That's true. That's
despite Mother Nature trying to make us, drown by rain and planes falling out of skies and people driving to wrong airports, we all made it. We're all alive and successful and had a great bachelor party.
And we all made it home too.
We all made it home too.
After some snafus traveling, both directions.
Like traveling maybe is the only thing that really put a damper on the weekend, because there was some snafus like you were alluding to, including 2 friends having to drive all the way home from Asheville. So
yes,
to not to Statesville, but all the way home to Connecticut.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan and Nick for being troopers and having to make that drive back.
Yeah, that was unfortunate circumstances, but it was a good time. A lot of good beer.
Shout out to Kyle Carmona for almost falling out of the sky too. Just I feel like he deserves at least a special shout out for almost dying in a plane.
But he didn't.
I said almost.
Right. Yeah. His plane made it. He made it all the way to Charlotte. But Tud, I want to know, what did you think of Asheville itself as a city?
I like Asheville a lot. I thought it was really cool. It reminds me kind of like a mini Nashville meets Austin, Texas. Obviously, without the live music scene that both of those cities bring to the forefront, it's definitely a little smaller as well. But I thought it was really cool. I definitely want to go back. I can't wait till we go back to visit Chris living in North Carolina. Hopefully he doesn't move before I get back there.
Before too soon.
Yeah.
And then, I hope not.
And then we can drive back over there the 2 hours and go back to all the good breweries.
Yeah, it was like Nashville with mountains was what I would say.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Nashville with mountains minus music.
Plus additional beer.
Yes, additional beer.
Yeah.
There was a lot of breweries. Asheville was awesome. Like, I don't know. I want to go back so bad already.
Well, you can, Chris. You can go whenever you want.
Yeah.
That's the beauty.
Not whenever I want, but yeah.
I guess technically we could too. We could drive. Yeah. It's been done.
Yeah. You could fly there, move there, never go back. Just live inside a brewery or something.
If I moved to Asheville, I think we discussed this. Chris, I think you said you'd be divorced and poor and homeless.
And alcoholic.
Alcoholic. I think I would just be an alcoholic and poor, because I'm currently not married.
Because you're not married, yeah.
Right. And not too long before that then. How is that? Like, you got what? A month and 4 days?
Yeah, by the time this comes out, it will be a month, so... Yeah, it's coming fast.
Is anybody getting cold feet? Caitlin, write in. DAWFPodcast at gmail.com. Cold feet?
Don't worry, Todd doesn't check the email. We'll keep this between two of the other co-hosts.
Obert doesn't want to see that type of email, remember? General thoughts, he doesn't care.
That's a specific thought.
Yeah, that's definitely more specific than that. No.
Yeah. No, I thought I had a great time at the bachelor party. We rented an Airbnb, which was a little bit outside of town, but we had a little more privacy to just be drunken idiots. And we were up a mountain. It was a really nice, cool view out over some lush green valley. And Asheville itself, I didn't really get too good of a feel of the city because we never really did like, oh, here's a lap around the city and here's where everything is. We kind of just saw in snippets and pieces, and I was never quite sober when we started. So, but what I did get from the city was there's a couple of really neat spots for sure. I liked where, I don't know if these had different districts have different names, but I enjoyed where Burial and Funkatorium and Wicked Weed all were. That little corner of town. We showed up there. There was like the
Green
Man
and all that too.
The streets was closed. Yeah, and they had like a little like farmers market festival type of just like outdoor market thing going on. That was pretty cool. And then also where we went to, what was it? One World and the Monk basement place.
The Thirsty Monk, and then
the Thirsty Monk.
The Jack in the Woods.
Yeah, that seemed like a different part of town, which also seemed like pretty neat, but I don't really know how close those two things were to each other.
I think I don't have the sense for that either. I think they're relatively close. Chris, you would have to provide us with a little bit more context there, considering that I'm sure you've driven around that area sober, but
yeah, I mean, not much sober, but I know
more sober. Soberer?
I honestly think where we were, the Burial and all that, and One World is probably separated by half a mile.
Okay.
Wow, that changes fast.
Yeah, because it's like there's like a main stretch there, and that's kind of where One World, Thirsty Monk, and then like the main building of Wicked Weed is, and then you kind of like go down the hill and take a right or left or something, and then you're getting into that other section that Obert was talking about. So, but yeah, either way, it was awesome, and
yeah, Asheville's an A+ city.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, especially if you run a beer podcast or drinking podcast.
Yeah,
or just like beer in general. I mean, I feel like there was 6 other dudes on that trip who don't run a beer podcast, and I think they all enjoyed their time there immensely.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. So, with all the drinking that we did last weekend, who's eager to drink again?
Me. Pick me.
I picked Tud. Okay. What are you drinking, Tud?
So today, I brought to the pod a beer from Hanging Hills. I don't think we've had Hanging Hills on the podcast before.
I don't think so.
This is a new brewery. So Hanging Hills and another brewery in Connecticut Alvarium did a collaboration called Pie Curious.
Oh, I saw this can. I thought that was a fun-looking can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It is the pie. The logo is the pie from American Pie.
It's the same font and everything. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll throw a pic on the Instagram.
I mean, honestly, it might not be the same pie.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe somebody at Hanging Hills or Alvarium just decided to, hump a pie.
I mean, it seemed okay in the movie, but I don't know.
So this is a beer this is the second run of this, but unlike last time when it was raspberry, this one is a blackberry and blueberry sour New England style IPA with oat milk and graham crackers added in.
Ooh,
wow.
That sounds delicious.
That's a lot going on in that beer.
Yeah.
No wonder you were so eager to start.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So cheers, boys.
Yeah, I'm curious. Oh wow, and it like it's an IPA, but it looks like a blackberry, blueberry, something or other
smoothie. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Like they were put in a blender, made into a jam, and then filtered into a glass.
Yeah, it is completely. The SRMs on this are probably 1 billion. I can't see any light through it at all.
No.
But it's not black, it's purple.
It is, yes, it is definitely purple. It's the color of, like, if you mashed up blueberries and blackberries and shoved them in a glass, that's the color that you have.
Right.
But if I ordered a hazy IPA and you handed me that, I'd be like, I think you gave me the wrong beer. Now, granted, it is a blueberry graham cracker surprise supreme hazy IPA, but still.
So it is very thick. You get a lot of
two C's.
Yes, with two C's, just like Kim Kardashian. You got a lot of the smell of blackberry on the nose and a lot of the blueberry on the tongue. You can't really taste the graham crackers, but that's okay. I mean, it's a little sour, which is nice. Overall, it's really good. You can definitely tell it's an IPA, but it's a sour IPA. This is a fantastic beer. I'm pretty excited for this. I'm pretty excited that when I showed up to Hanging Hills, they had 4-packs of it. So I bought 4 packs. Sorry, hashtag New Beer's resolution.
But you just gotta drink 8.
Yeah, that's just exactly. Except for I bought 8 of these, so I got to drink 16.
Oh no! Well, it sounds like it was a good choice to get 2 4-packs.
Yeah, these are amazing. I would give this probably a 4 1/4.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, I would drink a lot of this. I'm going to drink a lot of this.
Is it? It looks to me like the kind of beer where I couldn't have more than one of them in a row, Val.
No, you could have more than one of these.
Yeah,
they're light enough. It's a little thick on the tongue, but it's not like thick overall. So you could definitely drink a few of these and put them down.
Well, cheers to that.
Yeah, and it weighs in at 6.9 ABV, so you could get away with drinking a few of these.
Not too bad. Cool. That's very interesting. I mean, the sour IPA kick is like relatively new, and I haven't seen any fruited sour IPAs. So that's a really interesting take, and probably something I enjoy because I do like fruited sours.
Yeah, and I hope to continue to go back to this brewery as they keep on coming out with this, because I feel like this is something that's going to develop into an amazing, regular beer for both of these breweries. Yeah,
I've never been to Hanging Hills, but I've always wanted to go. I know it's kind of near up closer to you, right? Near the Manchester, Hartford-ish area.
It is. It's in the south end of Hartford. It's if you drive there, you kind of feel like you're in the hood. You kind of feel like you might get shot, but the brewery is really nice. The beers are good. A little pricey. Usually, it's about $8 for a pint when you could buy cans at $4 for a can. So it's a little pricey to drink in the brewery. But overall, it's a really good spot. They have a really good vibe going on there.
Nice. Yeah, I heard an interview with the brewer right after they had started up, and it made it sound like they really wanted to have it as a nice, like, welcoming environment to just chill in. So I'm glad to hear that it gives off that vibe. And I'll have to make it there next time when I'm in Connecticut for the wedding.
Yeah, we should definitely all head over there. I mean, they've got darts and bago and other types of games and live music, and it's just a great spot. Good vibe.
Cool.
So who's drinking next?
I can go next.
Wow, don't say that with too much enthusiasm.
Okay, I can go next. So I am drinking a Hazy IPA called Black Leather Jacket, and this is from Ass Clown Brewing Company.
That's fantastic. Where's that out of?
So this is out of Cornelius, North Carolina, which is about probably about 35 minutes or so from my house. We went there yesterday, which if you're friends with me on Snapchat might have seen that I got a little bit accidental day drunk.
It happens.
Yeah, I think I had 20 Snapchats from you singing me various songs, including almost all of Call Me Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I remember because
you poured that bad.
Oh, that's a bad pour.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, it's very, very heady. I didn't help that situation, but anyway.
No.
Yeah, I was taking all those snaps, and it would always like end snapping when I was getting to like the part I really wanted to snap. So then I just kept snapping. So it was a hot mess. It was a lot of fun though. Rocking out to some Call Me Maybe and Paradise by the Dashboard Light. But
at first I was a little concerned that you were driving the vehicle as well, and I was like, oh boy.
Oh no. Dana was there. She was DDing, and yeah.
That was your first Father's Day present.
Yeah, pretty much. So we went to a couple breweries down in that area, and there's some pretty nice spots. I brought cans of another brewery and I'm trying to set up a interview with them, Primal Brewing, but Ass Clown, we went to, yeah, it's a pretty good name.
We're 4 years old, folks. Don't worry.
Yeah, right. We went to them second or third. We went to them last, put it that way, and they had like, I think 20-something beers on tap.
Whoa.
And they were all theirs. Maybe 21 beers on tap.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah. And they had a really good takeaway selection. They probably had, I don't know, maybe 8 different kinds or maybe 10 in cans and bottles to take away. So I stocked up on some some ass clown.
Very nice.
And this is actually one that I didn't try at the brewery. I just saw that it was a hazy IPA. I was a little on the inebriated side, and I just wanted to apparently spend a lot of money.
I mean, with 21 beers on tap, no wonder you got #accidental day drunk.
Oh yeah, and even Primal had, I think, 14 or 15.
Oh
so,
wow.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun afternoon. But poured it in there. It looks like your typical hazy New England style IPA. Well, actually, this doesn't necessarily say New England, but it says hazy. But nice orange, juicy looking for flavor.
Yeah,
And
that looks delicious.
I'm going to go ahead and drink through this head right now because it's going to take forever if I wait. So here we go. Diving in.
I mean, so Obert, from your experience last weekend, I think North Carolina does a pretty good hazy / New England style IPA.
Yeah, they don't mess around. They do it upright for sure.
That One World brewery that we went to had a fantastic New England / hazy IPA.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, that might have been the best beer that we had all weekend. I mean, granted, we were also really, really drunk by the time we got there, so we'd have to go back sober to try it. But I thought it was really good. Definitely,
absolutely.
Definitely the most under the radar beer we had all weekend.
It's kind of like a forgotten brewery for some reason. Just because it's like down that alley, you kind of got to go down an alley, and then it's downstairs.
It's in a basement, right?
Yeah.
All right. So how is it, Chris?
It's good. I mean, it's got a hefty amount of bitterness to it, so it probably is a New England style IPA. But hefty amount of bitterness, a lot of citrus. You do get some like juicy notes in the middle, which I really enjoy. This beer was pretty much brewed for me, I think. If I had to guess, they probably had me in mind when they made it.
Does it say on the back of the can, brewed for Chris?
Well, I think it's just the name of the brewery, Ascalon. So, it's relatively light. It's only 6.5%. The one thing that I'll say is right up front, I get some maltiness, which you wouldn't really expect. But
right, yeah, that's not typical in a New England IPA.
Is it so it's not off-putting though?
No, it's not off-putting completely. It's just not something that you'd really expect. I get and I mean it's just for like a hint, and then it starts to hit you with the juice, and then it starts to hit you with the bitters, and then it's pretty bitter the rest of the way through. All in all, it's a good beer though. Can't take away from it. I'll probably give it a 4 out of 5. There was a couple beers that they had on tap there. One I bought cans of and I drank earlier today was Under a Sombrero, which was a Mexican style lime lager. Pretty solid beer there.
So was that a Dos Equis type of Bud Light lime? What was that Mexican lime beer like? Like a Corona?
No, it's not. I mean, it's been a long time since I've had any of the beers you just mentioned.
Bud Light lime tastes like Bud Light with lime.
Okay, it didn't taste quite like that but it was it's like a really light. It's a light beer, and there were hints of lime. And I just can't really. I guess it kind of would be like a Dos Equis, but a little bit more flavor from what I can remember.
Like a Corona with a lime.
See, I don't think so. It was hoppier than a Corona. That's the thing. Like I had more hoppy or maybe more bitter throughout the beer, but really good beer though.
Nice. And so remind me again, what is the name of the beer you're drinking tonight?
This is Black Leather Jacket.
Black Leather Jacket from Ascalon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, from Ascalon.
Well, I just saw Todd finish his beer, so I'm jumping in because I have yet to have a sip of mine.
Yeah.
I
just want to get another beer.
You know, my common line is like, well, I'm getting thirsty. Let's get to the beers. And like, you know, before we record this podcast, I crack open the beer, I take a nice picture of it, and then I don't sip it. I just put it next to my monitor and stare at a full glass of beer while we do all the intro stuff, talk about the bachelor party. I see Ted drink his beer. I see Chris drink his beer. So without further ado, I need to get right away to the Ecliptic Brewing Phaser Hazy IPA. I didn't realize we were doing another theme here, but yeah, we got Hazy IPAs on the brain, the three of us, for sure. This is a 6-pack I picked up in Portland first, which we talked a little bit about on the Lost tape that got eaten. Are supposed to be episode 41.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, as just a quick reminder, I drove out to Portland As soon as I got there, I was like, all right, let me see what they got. This was available at the corner market and struck my eye right away. The can looks like something you would see maybe at a bowling alley or a laser tag. It's looks like you're in outer space. The can's black and white speckled, and then in like neon orange and purple. Again, think like bowling alley when they turn the strobe lights on.
Like the rock and bowl or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Very
Galactic
neat can. It caught my eye. I couldn't say no. So bottoms up.
So I feel like we should have another bachelor party where we all go to Portland too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just bachelor party.
You
2.0.
only get one.
The
right?
return of bachelor party.
Yes, exactly. It's like Hot Tub Time Machine 2. You have to have another one.
Sure.
Obviously.
So this is good. I think it would have been a little better maybe 15 minutes ago.
When it was cold.
No, I'm kidding. This is, classic, delicious New England IPA. You can't ask for too much more out of a typical New England IPA than this. It's well balanced. It does all the right things the right way. New England doesn't have the corner on the market of New England IPAs for sure.
Well, I was going to say, you drove out to Portland and bought a New England IPA. Shouldn't you have gotten like a West Coast IPA while you were out there?
Oh, I got plenty of those too.
Okay.
But Montana definitely does not have a lot of New England IPAs, so I was thirsting for one for sure as soon as I got to a place with a good one.
It's always interesting, and I don't know if it's just because we're from New England and New Englanders are kind of jerks, but every time I go, I'm like, oh, I got to try the New England IPA. It can't be as good as back up north.
Yeah, right? It's like, no, we got...
And I'm like, oh, no, it's pretty good.
The market. Yeah, they describe it as juicy and unfiltered. Phaser Hazy IPA stuns with a lively array of fruity hop notes.
So they call it a Hazy IPA as well. They don't call it New England
they don't
style.
call it New England. Yeah, I noticed that.
The rest of the country, they're just jealous of how awesome New England is. So
that's got to be it.
They're trying to just cut us out of the market.
On the can. Yeah, but I'm going to give this beer. I think I gave it a 4 1/4. It's between a 4 and a 4 1/4 for me. I think, I'm ultimately going to come down with 4 1/4. And actually, this was one of the breweries I stopped at after I picked up the 6-pack. It was so good, I decided to go there. Very neat brew pub. There's a couple of streets in Portland that are like the quintessential Portland experience, like you could imagine. And one of them is Mississippi Ave. We biked up to North Mississippi Ave. And this is kind of at the south end of that. There's a few other breweries and cool bars on that strip. Stormbreaker was another great one. But all of their beers at Ecliptic are named after space stuff. There's a Starburst IPA, an Orbiter, Urt Imperial Stout, Vega IPA. There were some really good. They had really interesting stuff there.
Was there a Milky Way Stout?
I wouldn't be surprised if they had done something like that. But
did I get that name right? Milky Way Galaxy, yep. Milky Way Stout. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see anything like that, but it was, if you are in Portland and you are looking for stuff to do, I recommend, just visiting the city. If you're local, you probably know better than Nate, but check out Mississippi Ave. Towards the south end of it, end of the line, you should check out Ecliptic. Very cool spot, very good beers. Highly recommend.
Yeah, don't check out Mississippi, but go to Portland and check out Mississippi Ave.
Right.
Yeah, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I was pretty jealous of your drinking stories that you were putting on the Snapchat and sending to us via text. So it looked like it was a good time.
Yeah, I know. I tried to do a couple good shots on the Insta. I'm not savvy enough with Instagram to, how you can save stories? We don't really do that on our Instagram. We should do that more.
Yeah, we should. We also, when you start drinking, it's really hard to remember to do Instagram.
Oh, yes.
Which is tough when you have a beer Instagram, because that's the only time that you're drinking beer.
Right. Yeah.
It's also difficult to do check-ins on Untapped when you're wandering around like that too.
Yeah, it's like you go out to a bar to hang out with friends. You don't want to be on your phone the whole time.
Like last weekend, I feel like we missed a lot of beer.
Oh, no, I probably missed 20 or 30 beers pretty easily.
I actually wanted to ask you, Chris, how you, of all of the beers you went to yesterday, or all the breweries you went to and all the beers you had, how's your check-in total for the year coming? How's your New Beer's resolution?
That's not good.
Not good. Did you make good progress yesterday, at least?
Yes. I logged. So basically, I have to log 2 beers a day for the rest of the year to get back on track.
Oh boy.
And what was your goal again?
650 new beers, and I am not that.
Well, yeah, but that would be, if you started January 1st and you logged 2, that'd be 720. So you're not too off pace, you know what I mean?
I guess I didn't think about it like that. I guess you're right. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought, but definitely behind. I'm working on it, trying to get there. My new schedule's not helping at all. So
Chris, how many beers have you checked in so far this year?
So far I've checked in 236. So definitely a little off pace.
And what was your goal?
My goal was 650. So, figure at the end of this month, the year's officially half over. So if I can drink 90 beers in half a month, then I'm golden,
Yeah, I mean, if you were Tud, all you would need to do that in 2 weeks would just be keep 3 cases of Bud Light cold. So 330s of Bud Light, and then you're good to go.
Oh, no. Those are distinct beers.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
But my goal for the year was 365, and that was my New Beer's resolution. And I'm at 198 right now. Plus, there's still a few I have mentally rated from Asheville that I haven't checked in yet. I gotta go back and do that. But so we've talked about our New Beer's resolutions, and Todd, it seems like you might have a new twist on your New Beer's resolution, because it looks like you have a lot more room to put beer places now.
Yeah. So if you look behind me, boys, you'll notice that the scenery has changed a little bit.
It's a white wall with a gray border.
It's actually not a white wall.
I see a guitar.
It's a gray wall.
It's a gray wall with a gray border. Okay. So why are you in a new room? Did you get thrown in jail?
Yeah, I mean, I got a little drunk. They kind of, put me in the penitentiary, but they gave me my laptop and my microphone and my headset, so I could talk to you guys, because jail is just so nice. No, in all actuality, guys, I moved into a real house that I think I own.
Todd, you bought a house.
I did.
Woo!
That's so exciting. Yeah, congrats.
Thanks.
How does it feel being a homeowner?
I'm a lot poorer than I used to be.
Yeah. You're not really a homeowner. You own 10% of the house, and the bank owns 90% of the house.
Yeah, but I have the deed, so that counts,
that's
right?
Fair. That's something. You should tell that to the bank. Be like, what are you going to do? I already got the deed.
Exactly. It's just not like they don't have a lien against my property or something.
Right. Yeah. No, that's cool. I'm glad that I'm sad that you don't live next to a brewery anymore.
Yes, I am sad too, but at the same time, it's probably good for #TudFit.
Because it's a lot further walk to the brewery.
Correct. I'm a good 2 miles away from the closest brewery now.
So I'll tell you what, I like this TudFit program, which is you jog 2 miles and you have a pint to cool off, and then you can jog the 2 miles home with the 4-pack strapped to your back.
Right.
Ooh, a little bit of added weight there. That's pretty good.
Weight.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
In addition to the pint inside of you. Yeah.
If you get thirsty halfway through, you have the 4-pack with you to just drink and rehydrate.
Emergency beers. Beers. Yeah.
I was also thinking about getting a moped just so I could just kind of, motor my way over to the brewery.
But that's not quite promoting the same #TudFit lifestyle that we're all about here on the pod.
No, yeah, it's a lot of fun being a new homeowner. I figured out that Lowe's and Home Depot are very expensive stores, and I should be nowhere near those stores, because every time I go in there, I spend way too much money and I spend way too much time in it.
Yeah. So what's the biggest purchase you've made so far?
So
besides the home,
that doesn't count.
Yeah. So the first time I went to Lowe's, I spent $400 and got a bucket of supplies and a shovel. So I always say that I bought a $400 shovel that day.
Fair.
And
I know the buckets are $488, so I don't know.
So then, yesterday we went to Home Depot, and I spent not as much money as I did at Lowe's. And I walked out with, some light bulbs and that type of stuff. And we got a grill, so that's good. And then today, we bought a tractor, which are a ride-on lawnmower, as Obert would rather me announce.
I live in Montana. I'm not letting you get away with calling your lawnmower a tractor.
It's a John Deere. Does that count?
It's not a tractor, though.
Does it harvest crops?
Is it? Yeah.
I mean, it could kill crops if I rode over them, right?
I guess. But anyway, tell me about your John Deere.
So I ordered a John Deere riding lawnmower today, and I'm very cranky about this. So we're gonna loop back around and add in why Tud is cranky to this segment.
Okay.
So none of the Home Depots around me had this tractor in stock. All of the Lowe's did, but Home Depot is running a special where I get a rebate when I buy this this lawnmower. So I went
You
and
can
I was
call it a tractor if that's easier, but
Yeah,
we know
it
what
is
you
a-
mean.
It is a little bit easier to call it a tractor. So
Okay,
I get a
give you hard
rebate.
time.
I'm supposed to get a rebate for buying this tractor. And
That
I go
cuts
online.
gross.
I'm like, you know what? I'll just order it and have it delivered to me. So I place the order, and my estimated delivery date. Now, keep in mind this is June 16th today, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. My
Thanks.
estimated delivery date is July 11th.
Could be worse. It could be like October. Then you wouldn't
True.
need it at all.
But
Well, that's a long
month?
time.
Yeah, a month. Come on now. Like if you go around the corner of Lowe's, they have an entire parking lot full of these tractors.
Right, but they don't have the special rebate.
I guess so. I just feel like it's bad business.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate because it just flows through the vendor like that. So tractors aren't housed in RDCs. So
Don't try to give me this.
You're talking to a former professional
I used to
here.
work for a home improvement store shipping center bullshit.
yeah.
This is a travesty. If this was Amazon, I'd have it in 2 days.
All right, so we're putting a call out to our listeners for the most creative way Tud can get his lawn not too bushy by July 11th. Keep his neighbors happy until then. What is Tud gonna do?
I thought about
in-
buying a goat.
Yeah, there we go. Get a Tom Brady over to eat your lawn.
Just buy a goat, name it Tom Brady, and just make it. Tom Brady eats my lawn.
Yeah,
I did some research. You need at
just
least
plays
10
with a
goats.
deflated football.
You need at least 10 goats to clear an acre of grass.
How many grasses do you have?
I have 1.6 grasses.
That's a lot of acres. That's a big
wow,
lawn.
Yeah. That's like 16 goats.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of goats.
Like, all you really need is 2 goats and some patience,
They'll get around to eating all the grass eventually, right?
Yeah.
or making more goats.
Hey, there you go. You know, I've learned also that goats cost about $550 per goat. So
Oh, there you go. So buy 2 goats, breed 16 total, and then get your tractor, sell all your goats, and then there you go.
Yeah.
You know, listeners, never mind. Don't write in. We figured it out.
You've made money, lo and behold.
Yeah.
we just hope that within a month, a goat can have or 2 goats can have 16 kids that grow up to eat all my lawn.
Yeah. I think we could then write a book and be like, How to Turn Your Lawn into Goats by Tud.
It'd be a New York Times bestseller.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
So I don't know if we have time, but I have a little bit of a fun little segment I wanted to introduce to the pod.
Hey, you can't invent new segments. That's my job.
I know.
Tud has
I know.
all the
You know
segments.
what? I like to do segments. I do Hoppy Hour. I did Malt Minute. That was I should say I found some guests that could come on for Malt Minute.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I wanted to see if you guys would like to do a little beer trivia.
Ooh. Can we call this... well, we can't call it bar-rated trivia because that's already taken.
No.
Jep Beardy tea.
Jep Beer Tea?
Yeah, I don't know. However big that works. No, that's too much. I can't say it, so.
This is Jep
Trivberia.
Beardy.
Trivberia.
But yes, I would like to do beer trivia.
It
Okay,
rolls
so
off
this
of the
is-
tongue.
This is how the game's going to work here. So we're going to start off with some easy questions so our listeners can play along at home and, like our Jeopardy round. And then we're going to get to a little bit harder and we'll just see who has the highest score as we go along here.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have
So-
buzzers?
Is this like a buzz-in or
No,
is this
I'm going to alternate asking you each a question.
Oh, okay.
And
I
if
was-
one of you gets it wrong, the other person gets a chance to steal.
Okay. All right.
I was wondering if we got to like clank like the can on the table like this to like buzz in.
You can do that, even though you don't have to. I like that. I'm encouraging that.
It's Tud's turn.
All right, how are we going to determine who goes first? Let's say whoever's wedding is next gets to go first.
Ooh. Chris?
I don't
Whoever-
know.
Whoever most recently made a 5-digit purchase
Ooh.
gets to go first.
I guess, Chris, I think you're up.
I don't know.
He didn't spend that much on beer yesterday.
No. Yeah, I think the last 5-digit purchase I made was maybe CJ. I don't know. No, car. I bought a car. I forgot. Yeah.
Did you buy a house in Tennessee?
Yeah, but I bought the car more recently than that. That's 5 digits, right? Yeah, that was 5 digits.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, so Chris, you're going to edit some nice trivia music underneath this question. So, question 1. I may have said that specifically so you didn't do that. Okay, question 1. Cue the noise when you're playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Wow, you don't know that show very well, do you? There we go. All right, Todd, you can't buzz in yet. We haven't even started. All right, question 1. What are the 4 ingredients in beer?
Water. Oh, hang on.
Yes, Todd.
Oh, me. Water, barley, hops, and yeast.
Correct.
Woo!
Good job. All right.
I mean,
is there championship like music?
Yeah.
We are the champions.
got one.
You know what? You don't get championship music. You get crowd cheering. That wave.
And the crowd goes wild.
Open source crowd cheering. That wave. All right, Chris. Question 2.
Okay.
Where does the name India Pale Ale come from?
From beers that had to make the trip from India, and they had to hop them to make sure that they had to hop them more to make sure that they stayed good. So
close enough. The journey
formal
to
protest.
India.
Journey to India.
Formal protest.
I sorry, we don't recognize formal protests unless you use your signaling device.
Oh, wait, hold on.
No, we're gonna give that one. It's tied 1-1 here. Okay.
No, formal protest.
All right, we're gonna get a little harder here. All right, Todd. Question 3. What are the 3 states with the largest number of breweries per capita?
Montana, Vermont, and Oregon.
Ooh, very close. He's got 2 out of the 3 correct. Chris, to steal, can you name the 3rd of the top 3?
Maine?
It is Maine.
Boo. I got the right major city in the state that I guessed.
Vermont is number 1, Montana is number 2, Maine is number 3, and Oregon is number 4.
Oh, man.
So close.
Motherfucker.
Close.
Colorado rounds out the top 5. Okay, Chris. We all know that Yuengling is the oldest brewery in the United States. What is the oldest brewery in North America?
I'm going to go ahead and say it's a trick question. I'm going to say Yuengling.
That's a good guess, but incorrect. Todd, for the steal, can you come up with the oldest brewery in North America?
All right. Can you repeat the question from the beginning, please?
We all know that Yuengling is the oldest brewery in the U.S. What is the oldest brewery in North America?
All right. So it's got to be from Canada then.
And it's not Yuengling.
Yeah, the answer is not Yuengling.
That would be a good question I would write, though.
No, there's no way that's the oldest.
Todd?
Labatt's.
Oh, no, we were looking for Molson's there.
Oh, man.
But good guess.
Yeah, that was a good guess.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of something in Mexico. I don't know. Like Mexico City Brewing or something like that.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis, yeah.
So Chris is winning 2-1.
Yeah, this is bullshit because he got that first question wrong. Listeners, I want you to write in on my side for this one.
I'm sure they had to ship stuff back from India too. You know, it's the same.
But hops grow in England, so
yeah, no, it's Indian hops.
Okay. Little harder questions here as we get into our final round, semifinal round. What? And this is for Todd. What is a labiophilist? What is a labiophilist?
Are you saying it right?
I'll even spell it for you. Labior, Labeor, Philist, Philist. Labior Philist. Tud.
Is it a yeast?
Incorrect.
Oh.
Chris, for the steal, what is a Labior Philist? Yes?
Is it a grain?
No. A Labior Philist is someone who collects beer bottles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I should have said who is a Labior Philist to give you a little bit more of a hint there. But I didn't expect either of you to get that one right, but I thought
this game is rigged.
That's a tough one.
Okay, so we're still, Chris is up 2-1.
If you would have said who, I would have obviously guessed somebody who collects beer bottles.
Yeah, I should have known. Okay, Chris, you get to guess this one first, and we're going to say whoever's closest wins. How many 16-ounce beers are in a half-barrel keg?
Boo, 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 boo.
128.
128 is Chris's guess. Ted, what do you think?
156.
Oh, Chris was very close with 124 beers.
Damn. I knew it was
only
in that
4
range.
off. You seem very, very sad for winning the game.
Yeah, I won the game.
No, this is Price is Right rules. He guessed over. We have to have another question.
Okay.
Wait, what?
That's 15 and a half gallons for people keeping track at home. How
okay.
much beer is in a half barrel keg? Okay, so Chris is winning 3-1. But
wait, we're counting it. We're giving him that.
Chris is winning 2.5-1. But we're going to
Everybody knows that you always follow Price is Right rules when guessing
I didn't
numbers.
say without going over. Anyway,
True.
You should have said 1 beer then, I guess, or 129. Lightning round. We're going to do lightning round, and we're just going to go back and forth. And this is going to be for all the marbles here, folks. I'm going to name a state, and you're going to name a beer that's made in that state. Any beer.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
This might be a short game.
We're not going to go through all of them, but we're going to go alphabetically. So who's up? Tud's up, right? Tud?
No.
I need you to.
Are you cheating? Are you cheating?
I see a phone there. Tud, I need you to name a beer brewed in the state of Alabama.
None. They don't drink beer there.
No, that's not correct. Nothing? Okay. Chris, name a beer made in Alaska.
What is the Alaskan lager?
Ooh, Alaskan Amber we would have accepted. I don't know if I take Alaskan lager. All right. Tud, name a beer brewed in Arizona.
What is Sun Devil IPA?
Did you just make that up? We're gonna fact check this one real quick, folks. Bandersnatch Sun Devil IPA, brewed in Tempe, Arizona.
Damn it.
There we go. All right.
Oh, my knowledge of sports is paying off finally.
Last question of the game. Chris, I need you to name a beer brewed in the state of Arkansas.
Razorback IPA.
This game has turned into more work for Obert.
Well, I was going to have to look them up anyway.
It's true.
We have Razorback IPA by the Rake Brewery. Nope, that's a homebrew. Sorry.
What? No, that counts. It was brewed in Arkansas, probably.
No
it
way.
Doesn't say Untapped. It just
I gotta do some
Oh,
research.
wait. Okay, hang on. I take it back. Razorback IPA brewed by Festival Homebrew.
That's a homebrew.
Maybe that's the name of their brewery. Out of England. So, no. Incorrect. I'm sorry.
Damn it.
Yeah. So, if you live in a state that starts with the letter A, we apologize that you have such bad beer in your state.
Wait, do we know an Alabama beer?
We don't.
Do we even know if they drink beer there?
I think they only have one brewery in the whole state, but that could be a myth.
Wait, so do I get to take a shot at tying Chris?
You had many shots and you lost.
I don't get to try to steal the Arkansas.
No.
No, you don't, because I didn't let him steal Alabama.
Thank you, and I totally would have named one, but I'm not going to now.
Yeah. But okay, that's beer trivia. Chris wins this game. Q. We are the champions.
That was fun. That was
good.
I think a good time.
I want to do this again. Obviously, I think the next few states alphabetically after Arkansas are a lot easier.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I know those were tough ones, but
Ooh.
we learned, we laughed, we loved, and now it's time to move on to everybody's favorite segment, our 3 handles on our frosty mug of wisdom, where we hoist it high. We share with you things to make your life a better life. And I'm going to kick it off, actually.
Nice.
With a product that came recommended to me from special friend of the podcast, Jenna. I know she's a fan of this stuff. It's Brew shampoo.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. I saw it at the grocery store. I decided to pick it up. It's beer made with, it's shampoo made with craft beer. Yeah.
Are you dyeing your hair blue?
I'm not. This isn't really it's just for regular hair, not for colored hair. I'm sure they have other kinds, but this is probably just their basic man hair shampoo. But part of the reason I bought it was because it has caffeine in it. So I like that idea. A little bit of caffeine in your hair in the morning, just to kind of wake you up,
Invigorates your scalp.
Yeah, exactly. I did it more for my brain than the scalp, but for sure. It's kind of fun. On the back they say, for ages, beer has been a home brewed remedy for strong, shiny hair. Just ask your mom. Our mom's beer hair inspired brew, and it's BROO with the 2 umlauts over them. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I've used this for maybe 2 or 3 months now. It smells good. I'm not I'm not a big shampoo fan. I don't have a side podcast where I also talk about hair products, but
missed opportunity.
I know. That one would be, I don't even know what I would call that. Throwing out with friends. There we go. That was good. That was too easy. But yeah, I like it. It smells good. If you are in the grocery store and you're in the shampoo aisle, pop open the lid, take a whiff. Now you'll know what my hair smells like. Who am I handing this mug to?
To die?
Yeah.
Just take a whiff and now you know what my hair smells like.
You know what my hair smells like. No big deal. Just what I do.
Like, geez, guys, does it smell good? I mean, what's it smell like?
It does. It smells a little florally. Like, in the Sam Adams commercials when Jim, whatever his name is, takes the hops and he rubs them between his hands and then he takes a big whiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this shampoo smells like, kind of. Very florally, very hoppy. It's good.
So he's going to smell like an IPA. He's going to get fired tomorrow because they're going to be like, are you drunk at work?
No, it smells like flowers more than it smells like alcohol. It doesn't smell like alcohol at all, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll go
Chris,
next.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Take it away.
So I wanted to put over a pretty fun game that we played while we were in Asheville. We played it and was primarily the reason we almost got kicked out of a bar. It's called Det Grunk. It's a card game that is pretty funny, if I must say so myself.
Do you ever wake up on a Sunday morning and think to yourself,
for those that will live in bachelor party infamy right there.
Yeah,
we'll be talking about. We'll tell our grandkids about that story, but
probably not. But
but it's a card game. I can't really explain it. It's not really. It's obviously a drinking card game, but you
it's
pick up
almost
a card.
like Truth or Dare, but all dares.
Yeah, okay, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
The cards dare you what to do, and we had so much fun playing. We almost got kicked out of a bar because we were too loud, which I've never heard of before. But,
right? Yeah, it was a Friday night in Asheville. We should have known. We should have known not to be so loud.
We were in Asheville.
Yeah. But these guys, it's like 3 friends that just were like, "Hey, we're bored of all the other drinking games that we have, so we're gonna make our own." And they came up with some pretty interesting stuff. Like, for example, one of them is, you're a wizard, Harry, where you have to find the nearest towel or blanket and use it as a cape.
I used a piece of newspaper.
Yeah, Obert used a piece of newspaper.
I had to improvise at a bar.
Yeah. There's some where you have to try the nearest condiment. There's other ones where you have to make phone calls, and there's one that was just leave the room for an undisclosed amount of time and don't explain yourself when you come back. But it's a pretty fun game. They're available on Amazon, and if you use our affiliate link in the description, you'll be able to check them out. But highly recommended. they're pretty fun. We drank quite a few beers playing that game.
After those examples, I think you can see how we almost got kicked out of a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, very fair. Yeah.
Because those are the tame ones that we can share on the podcast without going into detail.
Yeah, true. But that's it, Deck Grunk. Awesome drunken card game. Tud, what do you got this week?
So my handle this week is going to be a shovel by Craftsman. You can buy it at Lowe's Home Improvement Store.
Shovel, Tud?
A shovel.
What can you do with said shovel?
You dig holes and or move things. You move dirt. Most people can buy them for $15.99. I myself, though, prefer to spend $400 on a single shovel.
I gotta say,
good shovel.
You must be a good shovel. All you gotta do now is use it to dig up some buried treasure, and then you'll be breaking even again.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it does have a lifetime warranty on it, so in case you happen to break said shovel, I don't know how you go about in requesting that Lowe's gives you a new shovel, but
you probably show up with your broken shovel.
But you do say, hey, I have a lifetime warranty on this hole digging contraption that I bought for $400. Just don't be like me and buy it at the normal price of $15.99.
Okay.
Tud just walks into a Lowe's. Trust me, I have this shovel. Give me a new one.
Or $400.
Or $400, whichever comes first.
Exactly. I'll sell them my slightly used shovel.
Have you shoveled anything good yet?
I shoveled some rocks.
You broke ground at your new house?
No, there were some rocks that fell off of the patio, or fell off of like the front of the house into the driveway, so I just shoveled them and threw them back.
Rocks on your house?
In front, yeah, like our front garden.
Okay.
It's very fancy.
Oh.
Yeah. We fancy up in here.
Do you anticipate to shovel often?
I hope to not shovel as often as I imagine shoveling.
Okay,
how many times do you imagine shoveling?
I mean,
Ted one time saw this movie called Holes, and it's been a recurring nightmare ever since.
Man, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
All of the holes.
All right, so with that, Ted, take it away.
We'd like to thank the breweries that provided the beers for today's podcast. I'm going to go first with Pie Curious, a collaboration between Hanging Hills and Alvarium Beer Company.
I'd like to thank Ass Clown Brewing for their black leather jacket, Hazy IPA.
And I'm going to thank Ecliptic Brewing for their Phaser Hazy IPA.
Make sure that you guys go on all the social medias. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Untapped, and follow us at DAWFPodcast. Make sure you follow the email at DAWFpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure that you guys are going onto iTunes and giving us a 5-star rating and leaving a comment. It always helps. It gets new eyes on us. And if you like what you listened to today, or if you didn't like what you listened to last week, let us know. Special shout out to James Vakovic from James Vakovic Designs for our awesome 3-handle mug. Make sure that you guys are clicking on the Amazon affiliate links in the comment section below on this podcast. That way you guys can get a link directly to Get Grunk, and I'm sure we'll have a link up there for the Craftsman shovel from Lowe's. We don't have an affiliate link there, but whatever. Click that link, buy the shovel. It's $15.99. It's not $400 like I spent on it. Also, make sure you're using our normal Amazon affiliate link. That way, you can pay the pod here. Make sure you buy the biggest, most expensive items on Amazon. Also, make sure you guys are going to Patreon and subscribing. We actually have content that will be going up there now after, being together for 4 days. You tend to develop some content when you're 4 dudes in a room and you get your podcast eaten up because somebody forgot to record it properly. I'm not going to name names, but
Chris, didn't you say you're working on the blooper reel?
Yeah, that's going to be going up very shortly, actually. Finished editing last night, so I got about 45 minutes of bloopers and outtakes and Tud dying. So if you want to get in on that action, I would definitely kick us a couple bucks. Why not?
Yeah, if you're curious, like, what's the stuff that wasn't good enough to make it on the regular pod, just all condensed and strung together? Then we can provide 45 minutes of that to you.
And I will say, we did, Chris made a challenge a couple episodes on the Bud Light Chelada episode, that if we got enough money on Patreon, that he would live chat with some people and drink the whole Bud Light Chelada. So make sure you're going on there and you're giving us some money so Chris can go on with you and drink a
Yeah,
whole.
tell you what, I'll make
Bud Light
that a
Chelada.
Patreon. I'll make it an official Patreon tier.
Okay.
I'll
I
go
like
on
that.
and put it in there.
As opposed to vague promises from Tud. That sounds good.
Right.
It wasn't a vague promise. He said it on the podcast. That's etched in history now.
Well, yeah, but now we're going to get a real amount, and it'll be a real tier.
It's going to be like $45
You heard
million.
it here first.
You know, when Bill Gates, who's an avid listener of the pod, he can toss that money around.
Hey, Bill, we're calling you out. We know you listen.
And so with that, my name is Tud.
My name's Chris.
And I'm Obert. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
So I got to go now, guys, and cut the lawn with a pair of scissors. Because I have a month until my traffic gets
I got some toenail clippers.
Ooh, that might be effective.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, when are you shipping that beer out from Asheville?
Yes. Where is our beer?
As soon as I get boxes.